And in this video, I'm going to have a chat to you about how to overcome the fear of selling. Wow, what a topic to try and cover in a short video, how to overcome the fear of selling. You know, I think it's interesting to note that there are a lot of myths around sales, and I think it's not the fear of selling really that people want to overcome, yet it's a very, very common search term on Google or something like that, is how to overcome the fear of selling. I'm not scared of selling at all. I love selling. When people are buying from me, that's a happy day. So what is the fear that you've actually got? It's not when someone's buying from you, it's the fact that someone may not buy from you. So it's more about overcoming the fear of rejection or overcoming the fear of being judged for the way that you've approached somebody. And I think there's this mentality or this mindset about sales, is that sales is something that is a dirty word. And I think we've got to, let's get rid of that. Hey, let's think a little bit different about sales and then start to think about that we're helping somebody. You see, if you had a friend who you could see had a skin cancer and you had to convince them to go and get it removed, would you have a fear of that? Maybe not, maybe, I don't know, but certainly I wouldn't. I'd be very comfortable with doing that because I'm helping them to solve a problem. Now, sales is very much the same thing. It's not about telling someone to do something or trying to make someone do something they don't want to do. And I think that's where the fear of sales comes from, because you feel like you've got to convince someone to do something or buy something that they don't need or want. And that's not what sales is. What sales really is about is helping people understand why they should buy your product or service. And I think when you get comfortable with that, that's when you'll get comfortable with sales. Now, I've got a few tips to help you get more comfortable at doing this, but you know, it's going to take you a fair bit of time to overcome your fear, because really it's not a technical thing, it's not a strategy thing, it's a mindset thing. It's the mindset that you've got that sales is a scary thing. And so a big part of overcoming it is just to get lots of experience. And to get lots of experience means doing lots of sales appointments. There's some great books out there too that'll help you overcome this, but really I have this philosophy, and that is selling with integrity. And that means that I'm not going to force you to buy anything. I'm not going to play any sales tricks on you. I'm going to deliver great value, and in return you're going to want to pay me for it. And that's really the essence of being great at sales, is understanding how to deliver great value and educate people as to the value that you offer. If you've got to work hard to get a sale, to convince somebody, then one of two things is happening. Number one is your product or service is not of great value to anybody. They don't really want to buy it. Or the second thing that's happening is you're not great at demonstrating to people the value in your product or service. So how do you overcome these challenges? Well, I've got 5 quick dirty tips for you to start using to get a little bit more proficient in getting more sales and getting more comfortable taking the fear out of selling. The first thing is to understand that sales is a profession. And if you're going to be good at it, you need to train. So number one is train, train, train. No different to any other profession. You just can't wake up one day and say, I'm going to be a salesperson. Selling is not, look, and this is the saying that I've got, the secret of selling is not in the selling. It's actually in your ability to understand people and how to communicate your message effectively so people want to buy from you. And so it's so many different skills that if you don't put a lot of training and effort into it, you're not going to get great at it. You're going to be average at it, like all the other people that don't train. They just assume that they can just sell because they're a person. It doesn't exist that way. It's a profession. So, you know, when I talk about training, I'm talking about reading books. What books have you read recently on sales? What workshops or courses have you attended on how to be better at selling? What audio books have you downloaded? What podcasts are you listening to about sales? What have you done to try and educate yourself more about the psychology of people buying and the benefits and features of your products, and how to position that, and put together a presentation? I mean, it's a huge gamut of training that you need to do, and it's going to take years. There's no two ways about it. There's nothing else. There's no shortcut. So if you're watching this video hoping that Ben was going to give you a shortcut straight to the successful point in time where you're going to sell everybody that you meet, not going to happen. You've got to take a lot of time. It sort of leads me then into point number 2, which is once you've got this knowledge, it's no good having all the knowledge if you don't do something with it. So you've got to practice. Practice, practice, practice. Now, if you're not confident at getting in front of prospects yet, practice. Practice on your dog. I don't care who you practice on. Get really comfortable with your presentation. And a presentation should be choreographed. Okay, now I know that sounds strange, but it's very important that when you go into a sales meeting or you meet with somebody or you talk to somebody on the phone, that you have a choreographed sales process. And that's important for two reasons. Number one is it keeps you on track. It makes sure that as you go through your sales process, you know where you are at any point in time and what steps are going to be next. So really important, if it's choreographed, then you can make sure you're always on track. The second thing that's important when you choreograph your sales process is you can start to test and measure each part of it and make tweaks to part of the choreographed process and see what effect it has on your overall conversion rate. So it's really important that you practice this choreographed process and that you make sure that you follow a step-by-step thing the same way every time you get into a sales meeting or into a sales conversation with someone, so you can see what's effective and what's next. The third note on that, and you're probably feeling pretty nervous by now, but I'm going to say relax. Just relax. It's one of those things that when you're in a sales meeting with someone, if they can sense that you're nervous or that you're tense, it's going to come across, it's going to affect your presentation. I was in a presentation the other day with a fellow and he had his boss watching. He rocked up and his boss happened to be with him and he said, my boss is here, going to watch me. And he was so nervous. Now I've met with him previously and he was very relaxed, but he got into this, into this nervous sort of, nervous mentality where he just was ineffective. And I think it's very important to understand that it plays a big part on your delivery. Remember, we're all people. We're all, we're all okay with talking to each other. Some people are shy, some people aren't. But we're all people. We'll understand each other. So just relax. Take a couple of big deep breaths before you go into the sales meeting or whatever it might be. But just take it easy and be there for your customer rather than for yourself. I know you want to get the sale and it's important for you to get the result. Funnily enough though, when you're trying hard to get the sale is when you're least likely to get it. So relax, take a deep breath, be there for your prospect, and they're more likely going to buy from you. Now I sort of touched on this in point one, and that's making sure that you are attending lots of workshops or training or books or things. So point four is just get out to at least a workshop a week. There's so many great things that you can attend to teach you how to do this stuff. Whether it's audio books, whether it's books, it doesn't matter, online training, whether it's offline training, there's a huge amount of resources available for you to attend workshops. Now, the reason I say attend workshops as opposed to just read books or whatever, I think attending workshops, you get to actually now role play with other people that are going through the same thing. And it's a great way to learn. So you're going to be able to buddy up with some other people that are feeling the same fears or nerves that you've got, and you can work together to overcome those and grow together. So a workshop's going to allow you to do that. Of course, the books, the audio, all of that's important, but I think that's really, that's where it's at, is go to a workshop. That way you can be in an environment where you're, it's that thing where you're more comfortable if you're all moving in the same direction together rather than trying to tackle this on your own. Now, my fifth and final tip to overcome your fear in selling is to get yourself a mentor. There's plenty of great people out there that would be willing to spend some one-on-one time with you on a regular basis to mentor you through your fears, to mentor you through your process, to get you clear. Now, I'm talking people that have got years and years of sales experience. They're your neighbours, they're your family, they're your friends' friends, or you might be somebody else in your team at work. But if you've got somebody around you that's very experienced at sales, get them to mentor you. I can guarantee you they've been through what you're going through. I started at sales at a very young age, but I still went through a lot of nerves. I was still very conscious of not getting rejected and all of that stuff. I mean, it's completely normal. It's completely natural. So when you see somebody who's really good at sales, you go, oh, they're just a born salesperson. That's rubbish. It's crap. They've been through the same ups and downs that you're going through. They've just, they're several years ahead of you. That's all. They've had a lot more practice. They've had a lot more experiences. They've been bounced off the wall more times than you have. That's all it is. So the good news is that means that you can get there too. The bad news for you right now is it's not going to happen overnight. So if you're looking for a quick fix, you've come to the wrong place. It's a profession that needs to be respected. It takes time to build up your credibility and your ability, and there's no other way around that. Hopefully that's helped you. Look, I really encourage you to leave any comments or questions below the video. I really would love to hear your thoughts or ideas, or if you've got any other tips you might want to share with everybody watching this video. It's been fantastic talking to you today. Until next time, have a profitable day.